You shave, and I'll kill you. The human pulled down, did the unthinkable. The desert son of Crix, 7 beat down mercilessly on the slave market, turning the sand beneath Captain Jaren Knox's boots into shimmering glass. He'd been captured 3 days ago, ambushed by Threxian raiders while his crew conducted what should have been a routine supply run. Now he stood chained to a post in the center of the bazaar, surrounded by aliens of every conceivable species, all browsing the merchandise with calculating eyes. Jaren's beard had grown thick over the months in deep space, a dark tangle that covered his jaw and neck. He'd always been proud of it, a symbol of his time away from Earth, each inch representing another parsec traveled, another adventure survived. It was more than facial hair. It was a record of his journey. The Threxian slaver approached, its segmented body clicking against the wooden platform. It held a curved blade that gleamed in the harsh light, and its mandibles clicked together in what Jaren had learned was their version of a cruel smile. Human, the creature hissed in broken standard. You fetch better price with smooth face. Buyers like to see fear in eyes. Hair hides too much. It gestured with the blade. I shave you now. Make you presentable for auction. Jaren's jaw clenched beneath the beard. He'd lost everything in the ambush. His ship, his crew, his freedom. But this was different. Something primal stirred in his chest. A line drawn in the sand that even slavery couldn't erase. You shave me, Jaren said slowly, his voice low and dangerous, and I'll kill you. The marketplace fell silent. Even the constant haggling of merchants ceased as hundreds of alien eyes turned toward the human and his captor. The Threxian's antennae quivered. With amusement, Jaren realized. The creature thought it was a joke. You make funny threat for someone in chains. The Threxian clicked. It moved closer, raising the blade toward Jaren's face. Hold still. This go quick. The moment the blade touched the first hair of his beard, Jaren moved. His hands, though shackled, had just enough slack. He'd been working the chains for 3 days, shifting his weight, testing the give. The Threxians were strong but arrogant. They'd never considered that a human might use the post itself as leverage. Jaren threw his weight backward, pulling the chain taut, then snapped forward with every ounce of strength in his core. The chain whipped around the Threxian's extended arm, and Jaren twisted. The creature's exoskeleton cracked with a sound like breaking pottery. The blade clattered to the platform as the slaver shrieked, its arm bent at an unnatural angle. But Jaren wasn't finished. The crowd backed away as he grabbed the fallen blade with his bound hands, awkwardly but determinedly. The Threxian tried to retreat, but Jaren was faster. He drove the blade upward into the soft joint where the creature's head segment met its thorax, the one weak point in their armored bodies. Green ichor sprayed across the platform as the Threxian collapsed, its legs twitching in death throes. The marketplace erupted in chaos. Guards rushed forward, weapons drawn, but they hesitated. Killing a slaver, especially one of the Threxian syndicate, was an executable offense. But the human had made his point in the most brutal way possible. He stood over the corpse, blade still in hand, his beard intact, and his eyes blazing with defiance. Anyone else want to try? Jaren growled. A slow, rhythmic clicking echoed across the marketplace. From the crowd emerged a figure that made even the Threxian guards step back. It was a Vexthor, a species known throughout the galaxy as the ultimate warriors and strategists. This one wore the distinctive armor of a war captain, its 4 arms crossing over its chest in what Jaren recognized as a gesture of respect. Impressive, the Vexthor said in perfect standard. You killed a Threxian slaver with bound hands, over facial hair. Over principle, Jaren corrected, breathing hard. I've lost everything else. I'm not losing who I am. The Vexthor's eyes, all 6 of them, studied Jaren with an intensity that felt like being dissected. Then, to everyone's shock, the war captain reached out with one clawed hand and snapped Jaren's chains as if they were paper. "I am War Captain Krell 9 of the Vexthor Dominion," it announced loudly enough for the entire marketplace to hear. "I invoke the right of conquest. This human's kill was honorable. He is mine by warrior's law." The Threxian guards hissed in protest, but none dared challenge a Vexthor war captain. Throughout the galaxy, the right of conquest was sacred, an ancient law that transcended even the Slavers' Guild. If a warrior claimed the right, it was binding. Krell 9 gestured for Jaren to follow, and the human did, still clutching the blade, his freed hands rubbing the raw marks where the chains had been. They walked through the parting crowd to a sleek warship docked at the edge of the market. Once aboard, Krell 9's demeanor shifted from formal to something approaching curiosity. "Why?" the war captain asked. "Why risk death over something so trivial as hair? I've seen humans survive by adapting, compromising. Your species is known for pragmatism." Jaren touched his beard, feeling the coarse hair that had almost cost him his life. "You wouldn't understand. In your culture, you have rituals, symbols. Your war paint, the notches on your armor. Each one tells a story, right?" Krell 9's antennae lifted with interest. "Continue." "This," Jaren gestured to his beard, "is my story. Every hair, every inch, it's where I've been, what I've survived. The slavers already took my ship, my crew, my freedom. If I let them take this, if I let them erase the physical proof of who I am and where I've come from." He paused, searching for the right words. "Then I'm not just a slave. I'm nobody, and I'd rather die as somebody than live as nobody." The war captain was silent for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, it made a sound that might have been laughter. "Humans," Krell 9 said, shaking its head. "Your species continues to perplex the galaxy. You're physically weak, technologically inferior, short-lived, and yet..." The war captain fixed all 6 eyes on Jaren. "You possess something we Vexthor respect above all else. The refusal to be broken. So what happens now?" Jaren asked. "I'm guessing you didn't save me out of the goodness of your heart." "The Vexthor don't do charity." "Correct," Krell 9 confirmed. "I need a crew for a mission deep into Threxian territory. Dangerous, likely fatal, and requiring someone with nothing to lose and everything to prove." Interested, Jaren looked down at the blade still in his hand, then at his reflection in the polished wall of the ship. His beard was untouched, his eyes fierce. He'd killed a slaver to keep his identity. Now he'd follow that conviction wherever it led. "When do we leave?" he asked. Krell 9's mandibles spread in what Jaren was learning to recognize as a smile. "Immediately. But first," the war captain produced a grooming kit from a nearby locker. "You'll want to trim that properly. Make it sharp. If you're going to kill for your beard, at least make it look good while doing it." Jaren laughed, the first genuine laugh since his capture. He took the kit and nodded. "Now you're speaking my language, Captain." As the ship lifted off from Crix 7, leaving the slave market and its horrors behind, Jaren Knox stood in front of the mirror, carefully trimming and shaping his beard. He was no longer a slave, no longer helpless. He'd drawn a line and defended it with blood. The beard remained, and so did the human who refused to be broken.